The Galactic Council Hall was full. Hundreds of species sat in wide circles, watching the center stage. This hall had seen wars begin and empires end. Today, it was here to judge Earth. Earth was new to the galaxy. Too new. Too quiet. When the humans arrived, they did not come with fleets of warships. They did not show sharp teeth or heavy armor. They came with one creation. A single prototype. The predators laughed. The Carax hunters clicked their claws in joy. The Velmari warlords showed their long fangs. To them, Earth looked weak. Soft skin, slow movement, small bodies. "This is Earth's weapon," one predator asked. The hall filled with noise. Mocking sounds echoed from every side. At the center stood Earth's prototype. Tall, silent, still. It did not move. It did not react. The aliens expected fear. They expected anger. They expected blood. But the human representative said nothing. He stood with his hands behind his back. His face calm. His eyes steady. Silence spread. The predators grew uncomfortable. They were used to screams. They were used to threats. Silence was unfamiliar. One alien commander stepped forward. A massive creature with scars across his body. "We conquer worlds," he said loudly. "We test strength with battle." He pointed at the prototype. "If it is strong, it will fight. If it is weak, it will fall." The council watched closely. Many already believed the outcome was clear. Earth would fail. Earth would be broken. The prototype remained still. Minutes passed. The predators whispered among themselves. Some thought it was broken. Others thought it was afraid. The human did not defend himself with words. He did not explain. He did not beg. This confused the galaxy more than anger ever could. The alien commander laughed. "Very well," he said. "We will test it our way." War drones moved into position. Weapons powered up. Energy fields lit the hall. The crowd leaned forward. They expected chaos. They expected destruction. Still, Earth's creation did nothing. The human finally spoke. His voice was calm, not loud. "We did not come to fight." The hall went quiet again. The predators growled. "Then you came to lose," one said. The human shook his head slowly. "No," he replied. "We came to show you something older than war." The alien commander raised his weapon. "Words do not stop predators," he said. The prototype shifted slightly. Not to attack. Not to defend. Just enough to show it was aware. That small movement changed the room. The laughter faded. The smiles vanished. For the first time, the predators felt something unexpected. Uncertainty. The test was about to begin. And the galaxy did not yet understand. That Earth's greatest strength was not violence. It was control. The challenge was set. Blood was expected. But Earth had different plans. And the silence continued. The lights in the Galactic Council Hall grew brighter. War drones moved closer to the center stage. Their weapons hummed with quiet power. The predators watched with excitement. This was the moment they lived for. The moment when fear showed itself. Earth's prototype stood alone. No shield raised. No weapon visible. No sign of panic. The Carax commander lifted his claw. "This test is simple," he said. "Survive, or be destroyed." The crowd expected the prototype to react. To charge forward. To strike first. Or at least to defend itself. It did none of those things. A low sound moved through the hall. Confusion. Whispers. Impatience. "Is it frozen?" one alien asked. "Is this a joke?" said another. The human representative remained still. His eyes stayed on the prototype. He did not look at the weapons. He did not look at the predators. The first drone fired. A beam of energy crossed the space. Fast, sharp, deadly. The crowd held its breath. At the last moment, the prototype moved. Not fast. Not violent. A field of light appeared around it. The beam hit the field and faded. No explosion. No damage. The predators hissed in anger. So it can defend, the commander said. Good. More drones attacked. From different angles. With greater force. The prototype adjusted. The field shifted smoothly. Every attack was stopped. But never returned. No counterstrike came. The predators grew annoyed. This is not a fight, one growled. It hides behind shields. The commander nodded. Then we push harder. Heavy weapons activated. The floor shook under their power. Still, Earth's creation did not attack. The Galactic Council began to watch more closely now. This was strange. Most species fought back when tested. Some begged. Some ran. Humans did neither. Minutes passed. Then more. The prototype showed no damage. No anger. No change in posture. The predators began to feel uneasy. Their attacks should have worked. Their power had broken worlds before. Why does it not strike? A warlord asked. Is it waiting to die? The human finally spoke again. Softly. Clearly. It is waiting for you to stop. Laughter returned, but weaker this time. Predators do not stop, the commander replied. Then this test will never end, the human said. That answer disturbed the hall. The commander ordered a final attack. A full strike meant to crush the prototype. Energy filled the air. The sound was overwhelming. The prototype reacted instantly. Its defensive field expanded, protecting not only itself, but parts of the hall as well. Some alien observers stepped back in shock. The human machine was protecting them. Even while under attack, the weapons shut down suddenly. Overheated. Drained. Useless. Silence fell again. The predators stared. Their tools of violence had failed. And still, no blood had been spilled. The commander lowered his weapon slowly. His voice no longer confident. This is not weakness, he said. What is this? The human did not answer yet. The prototype stood untouched. Silent. Patient. The galaxy began to realize. This was not a test of power. It was a test of restraint. And Earth was passing. The silence in the hall felt heavy. The predators did not laugh anymore. They stared at Earth's creation as if seeing it for the first time. The Carrack's commander stepped back slowly. His claws lowered. His voice rough. This machine had power, he said. Why did it not use it? The human representative finally moved. He stepped forward calmly. No fear in his eyes. Because power is not the first law of Earth, he said. The Galactic Council listened closely now. Every sound in the hall faded. For most worlds, the human continued. Strength means striking first. For us, strength means choosing not to. Some aliens made angry sounds. Others looked confused. The commander pointed at the prototype. It could have destroyed our drones. It could have killed. Yes, the human replied. But then it would be just like you. That sentence hit harder than any weapon. The human turned toward the council. Our oldest law was not written by kings. Not by armies. It was written by people who feared chaos. The prototype came to life slowly. Symbols of Earth's history appeared in the air. Old images. Old memories. The first cities. The first rules. The first lines that stopped endless revenge. The human spoke again. On Earth, violence created more violence. So we learned control. The predators shifted uneasily. Our oldest law is simple, the human said. Those who strike first lose the right to justice. The hall reacted instantly. Some aliens growled. Some whispered in shock. The commander shook his head. In our worlds, he said, the first strike is honor. And on Earth, the human replied, it is guilt. The prototype raised one open hand. Not a weapon. Not a threat. It projected records. Human wars. Human mistakes. Human losses. And because we learned this law the hard way, the human said, we built our creations to obey it. The prototype had been attacked, threatened, tested, yet it never crossed the line. This machine cannot strike first, the human continued, no matter how strong it is. No matter how much it is attacked. The predators finally understood. This was not a limitation. It was a rule. The commander's voice was quiet now. And if we had killed it? The human looked at him calmly. Then the galaxy would know who the monsters were. The words settled deeply. The prototype lowered its hand. The defensive field faded. It stood open. Vulnerable by choice. The Galactic Council shifted in their seats. Many had built empires on first strikes. On fear. On blood. Now they faced a species that had survived by restraint. The human stepped back beside his creation. We did not come to prove we are stronger, he said. We came to prove we are responsible. The predators no longer saw weakness. They saw danger of a different kind. A species that could destroy. But chose not to. The oldest law of Earth had been revealed. And the galaxy was no longer comfortable. The Galactic Council hall felt different now. The air was heavy. Not with noise. But with thought. The predators no longer stood proudly. Some lowered their weapons. Others stepped back from the center. Earth's prototype remained still. Its systems calm. Its posture relaxed. The Carrack's commander looked around the hall. He saw uncertainty on faces that once showed hunger. For the first time, predators felt watched. You stand open, he said slowly. You invite attack. The human representative nodded once. Yes, he replied. That is the test. A low murmur spread through the council. Many species had never seen such behavior. To stand without defense in front of enemies. The commander tightened his grip on his weapon. His instincts screamed to strike. To end the threat before it grew. But something stopped him. If he attacked now, he would prove Earth right. The prototype suddenly projected a wide field of light. Not a shield. Not a barrier. Information filled the space. Records of Earth's history. Wars that ended cities. Weapons that nearly destroyed the planet. The human spoke again. We nearly lost everything. We learned restraint too late. Images changed. Peace treaties. Laws. Courts. We survived because we stopped ourselves. The predators watched silently. They had always believed control came from fear. Now they saw control born from limits. The Carrack's commander felt something unfamiliar. Respect. Mixed with fear. If your creation cannot strike first, he asked, then how does it win? The human answered calmly. It wins by not losing control. The prototype moved for the first time toward the commander. Slow. Measured. Every predator tensed. Expecting violence at last. But the machine stopped a few steps away. It lowered its head slightly. A gesture of restraint. The commander realized then. This machine could reach him anytime. It chose not to. Weapons across the hall powered down. One by one. Not by command. But by decision. The Galactic Council chairperson stood. His voice shaking slightly. This trial is concluded, he announced. No cheers followed. No celebration. Only silence. The human prototype stepped back beside its creator. The defensive systems fully shut down. The predators whispered among themselves. Some felt shame. Others fear. They had expected blood. They had prepared for death. Instead, they were shown restraint. The Carrack's commander bowed his head slightly. A sign rarely given. We misjudged Earth, he admitted. The human replied quietly. That is why the law exists. The balance of power had shifted. Not because Earth proved it could destroy, but because it proved it did not need to. The Council recorded the event, not as a battle, but as a warning. A species that controlled its strength was far more dangerous than one that did not. As the hall slowly emptied, many eyes followed the human and the prototype. No laughter remained, only memory. The galaxy had learned a lesson, and it was not yet ready to accept it. The Galactic Council Hall was quiet now. The predators had left their pride behind. Some walked away slowly, others lingered, staring at Earth's creation. The human prototype stood alone in the center, its systems powered down, its posture calm, its eyes still observing. The human representative stepped forward. He looked at the council one last time, then at the predators who remained. "We came not to conquer," he said. "We came not to destroy. We came to show that restraint is our oldest law." The words echoed through the hall. They were simple, but heavy with meaning. The Galactic Council began to record every detail. They had witnessed something unusual, a species that could have destroyed them, yet chose wisdom instead. The predators whispered among themselves, some in fear, some in awe. They had expected humans to be weak. Now they realized humans were dangerous in a way no weapon could measure. The human turned to the prototype. "Your task is complete," he said. "You have shown the galaxy who we are." The prototype lowered its head slightly, as if acknowledging the words. Outside the hall, the galaxy would talk for years. Tales of Earth's first test would spread, not as stories of war, but as lessons in patience and law. The oldest law of Earth became known, across systems and planets. The law that said strength is not power. It is control. It is restraint. It is wisdom. Humans returned quietly to their ships. No cheers, no celebration. Their victory was not loud. It was understood by all who saw it. The predators had learned fear of a different kind. Not fear of battle. Not fear of weapons. But fear of wisdom. Fear of a species that could destroy, but chose to obey law instead. The Galactic Council marked Earth as a species to watch. Not for conquest. Not for destruction. But for respect. And slowly, across the galaxy, whispers spread. They do not strike first. They wait. They watch. They follow law. The galaxy began to understand. This was a new kind of power, one that came from patience and choice. The human prototype looked at the stars, calm, silent, patient. It carried the law of Earth with it, a law older than empires, older than weapons. And the predators understood. They had underestimated Earth. They had laughed at weakness, and learned instead that strength is not measured in blood. It is measured in restraint. The human representative stepped into the light of the hall, and said quietly, "History will remember, not those who strike first, but those who choose to obey the oldest law." The Galactic Council watched in silence. The predators bowed, not out of submission, but out of respect. And Earth's legacy began, not with violence, not with war, but with law, patience, and silence. The galaxy would remember the prototype of Earth, the law that saved a species from itself, and taught the predators that sometimes the greatest power is knowing when not to fight.